welcome to Be the Light. I am Denise Rezsonya, your show host, and today we are doing one of my very favorite Be the Light episodes. These are the Be the Light Awards today, and I have with me my very first guest, Bri Miller, and Bri is in 5th grade at Hazel Dell. Welcome to the show, Bri. Got anything you want to say there?
I've been working on a lot of charities, and I'm really excited to be on the show.
You are? Well, I'm very excited to have you here. Normally, I had decided when we first talked about doing this show that we were going to give awards out to middle schoolers and high schoolers, but when I heard what Bri was doing, there was just no possible way that I could not have her on this show and recognize all of the things that she's doing in the community. Again, Bri is in 5th grade, so you're what, 10 years old?
Mm-hmm.
10 years old. So what kind of things are you doing for charities?
I've been doing massages, selling bracelets, and really doing anything I can. I've been doing chores, just anything really to get money.
To get money. And then what are you doing with the money when you get it?
Just donating it to charities, just of all kinds. It just happens to be the one just to work on. Okay.
So how did this all start?
Whenever I was looking in my Bible and I saw a verse about giving to the poor, and then I said I wanted to do something like that. So then me and my younger sister, we started donating money, and we started trying to raise money for people who were less fortunate.
That is so amazing. Now, one of the very first things you did was getting an American Girl doll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was through the school system, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So tell us about that. What did you do?
Well, we did a lot of massages, and then whenever we had all the money we needed, we got to go to Ohio in the American Girl doll store there. We got to choose out the doll we wanted, and we chose the Rebecca doll because she was like sweet, and we chose that one because her description was she loved to give.
Okay. So that had a lot of significance then. And so that doll, first of all, American Girl dolls are not cheap. I mean, did that take you a while to raise that money?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you raised the money, you bought the doll, and then you donated it through your school then, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We gave it to the counselor.
Okay. And so you don't know where that doll went, though, right? You just know it went to somebody that needed a Christmas present that year. Awesome. So what other kinds of charities or donational obligations have you worked on?
We've donated to breast cancer, people with leukemia, brain tumor, all those.
Wow.
And we're working on one right now for Make-A-Wish.
And so this is ongoing for you. You're just gonna, as soon as you finish, how do you decide that you're done? Like, did you set like a dollar limit, or how do you know?
We set a goal, and it's usually around $150 or $125.
Okay.
And once we have about that much, we throw a little celebration, and then we decide we just think about what's happening now and decide what the next charity is going to be, and then we set a goal for that, and then once we get that, then we move on to the next.
Okay. Now you said we. Who's the we?
Me, my cousin, and my younger sister.
Okay. So that's really great. So you came up with this, and now you're helping inspire other people, right? Okay, cool. And that's kind of what this whole Be the Light Award is about. It's that you're being the light here in the community, and you're seeing a need and helping other people. I just think it's so great. So what would you say to people that are watching right now that maybe want to make a difference?
If there's anything, you should just really give to other people. It just feels so good to give.
It does feel good, doesn't it? Makes your heart feel good. So you mentioned you do massages, you do chores. I have a note here about bracelets. Were you selling bracelets?
Yeah, we made bracelets, rainbow limb, and we also did like bead ones. And we sold that, and we put names on them, and then people could if you wanted them, you could buy it.
Okay. So for anybody that's maybe watching or listening that would want to donate money to you for a charity, what should they do? Should they contact me maybe? I can help get them in touch with your parents?
Probably that, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I can see that this is going to go really far. I mean, someday you're going to have your own donation website, I bet. It's going to be good stuff. This is really awesome, Bri. Now, outside of of what you do to help other people, what kind of stuff do you enjoy doing?
I like to do gymnastics and soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And like just play outside.
Yeah.
And swim.
Yeah, cool. So are you excited about the middle school next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a few things for you because we have some awesome people who know what you're doing who wanted to help recognize you. First of all, Chick-fil-A, who is a proud sponsor of the Be the Light show, Chick-fil-A here in Noblesville, has donated a whole bunch of backpacks that are just filled with stuff. And this is a special gift, and you are the only person that's receiving this. This is from Kiln Creations. They have donated a gift certificate for 5 free studio fees because they heard about what you were doing, and they're so proud of you. Also, what else is in here? Michael James Meddy, whose song plays at the beginning, Bring Forth the Light, has given you a signed copy of his CD of that song. And a friend who's an author wrote this awesome book called If Tigers Were Angels. And he'd like to donate that to you. So there's also a whole bunch of other stuff in here, like I said, from Chick-fil-A, from our good friends at Chick-fil-A. And I do have one other surprise for you, which I moved my bag, so I kind of messed up on that one. But I will grab it in just a second. Some other friends who heard about all the great things you were doing want to help, so we have a whole bunch of change for you to take. And I don't know how much it is. I haven't counted it, but it's a really heavy bag. So I'm excited for you, and I will grab that when we go to break. I've been so excited to give it to you on the air, and here I forgot to grab it, but I do have it in the hallway, and I'll get it right to you. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and do you have anything else you want to say before we head out?
Well, if anyone wants to donate to any charities, we would love donations.
Great. All right, we'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Welcome back to Be the Light. I am your show host, Denise Rezsonya. And now I have with us our next guest, who's Joe Cummings from Guerin High School. So welcome to the show, Joe.
Thanks for having me on.
You are so welcome. And Joe's a senior who also is a Be the Light award winner. And he sent me, I have to tell you, I don't mean to embarrass you, he sent me this really impressive resume. I'm so impressed with how organized you are, and I'll tell you, I can't wait to hear in the future how well you do out there in the workforce, because you're on it, man. You are literally the most organized and detail-oriented guest I've had, so this is really cool here. So I was kind of glancing through all this morning to touch on a few things, and something that I thought was really impressive on your resume, aside from all of your experience and your schooling, was that you completed a half in the mini marathon at the age of 11.
Yes, that's right.
That's seriously impressive. So are you still a runner?
Not as much anymore. Right now I focus more on soccer, but I still do love running.
Yeah. Well, I'm a soccer mom, so I totally love that. And I was also looking through all of your community service stuff. You're so impressive. I don't even know where to start here. I mean, you do go to Guerin, and so through that you do a lot of service, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And clearly you're passionate about it. I mean, you're involved in a lot of different charitable organizations. It looks like kind of all over the place. But one thing that really sparked your interest was the blood drive.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we have quite a bit we want to kind of cover on the blood drive here. First of all, let's start with how this all started. He actually runs this blood drive. So let's get to how that started.
Well, it all started in my 8th grade year. I was at Our Lady of Grace Catholic School, and we were given the option our 8th grade year of either doing another science fair project or we could do a global issues project. Mm-hmm. And I was a little sick of doing science fair projects, so I decided to do a global issues project, but I was kind of stuck for an idea until one day my dad came home with a blue bandage around his arm. And so I asked him about it, and he explained blood donations to me, and he also explained that my grandmother needed blood transfusions. So that sort of hit close to home, and I started looking around, seeing what I could do with that. And what I noticed was that at my parish, we hadn't had a blood drive for many years. And so I contacted the Indiana Blood Center and set that up. And the first blood drive at the Our Lady of Grace Parish took place in January of 2012.
Okay. Now, something that you document in here is that blood transfusions are required a lot more than people might realize.
Yes.
And you had some actually pretty staggering statistics in here that every 2 seconds someone needs blood. I thought this was pretty good too. The 1 pint of blood can help up to 3 people because of the way that the components are separated out, and that's something that a lot of people probably don't realize. So why do we need to donate blood?
Well, it's always good to give back to the community, and like she said, it can help save a lot of lives. For example, I run the blood drive twice a year, once in January and once in June. And so over these years, we've collected over 300 units of blood. And as she mentioned before, because each pint of blood can help save up to 3 people, just through the blood drives at Our Lady of Grace alone, potentially 900 people have been able to receive these blood transfusions that could potentially save their lives.
Now you are going to be graduating. So what is the future of this blood drive that you've been running?
Well, the last blood drive that I will be running is in January 24th. And after that, it will continue to run, but I will be handing off to another parish family who I've been training for the last couple of blood drives.
Okay, good. So we'll be kept going. So you know that I mentioned to you when we met, I've not had a great experience with giving blood. Matter of fact, it was kind of traumatic for me. But you assured me that even if someone's had a traumatic experience or not such a great experience, they should try again, right?
Yes, ma'am. It really depends on what crew is going to be there on site for the donations that day. So a lot of the common complaints are that they don't like needles. And most of the time, all you feel is a little pinch. Occasionally, there'll be a bad experience, but I can almost guarantee that you won't have a bad experience 2 times in a row. Another common misconception is that, I just know I won't be able to do it because I'm too old or I was sick. And people should never just automatically take themselves out of the count before you actually go there, and they can tell you whether or not you can donate.
And they do like a screen when you're there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think my personal issue at that time was just that my weight was, back then, a little low for what was supposed to be to give blood, and I think I kind of fudged my way into that one. But a little surprise for you, I am coming to your blood drive, and I am going to give blood. So because you talked me into it, I'm going to suck it up. I haven't given blood since I was 17 years old, and this is a big deal for me. I'm kind of terrified to do this, but I'm going to come do it because
Appreciate that.
I've been so inspired by you, and I hope that many of the people watching and listening are inspired as well. And for people that do want to sign up, again, that's January 24th.
Yes.
And it's at Our Lady of Grace, is that correct?
Yeah, it's at Our Lady of Grace in rooms 3 and 4. Pretty easy to find your way around. It's not a huge parish. And like she says, on January 24th, the times are from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And to sign up, it's fairly simple. The website you're going to want to go to is www.donorpoint.org, spelled exactly how it sounds, donor point. And you'll have to make an account, which will take about 30 seconds. And about a month before, it'll show you blood drives in the region. And about a month before, my blood drive will show up, and you can just sign up right there. And also the great thing about it is you can sign up for any other blood drives in the area, use it whenever you want, help save a lot of lives.
Well, how often can you give blood?
I think it's about 3 months in between.
Okay. So now, will you be there for the day on the 24th? Or?
I will be there at 6 a.m. and I usually don't leave about till 2 p.m.
Because I'm getting a picture with you. I want you to know, like, I'm there, man. I'm totally going to do this. I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to go and I'm going to give blood. So I hope that all of you watching and listening will do the same. And again, just go to www.donorpoint.org to sign up for that. This is just so incredibly impressive, what you're doing here. Clearly, this helps save a lot of lives, and you're truly being the light in the community. So I thank you so much for what you're doing, and for the fact that you've also taken it a step further, and you've got someone lined up to handle it after you go. I'm just so incredibly impressed by all of this, and I thank you. And I do have some gifts for you as well. Again, from our friends over at Noblesville Chick-fil-A, we have a backpack full of goodies. And let's see what else. We've got Bring Forth the Light, which is Michael James Meddy's signed song from earlier in the show. And also from my friend Tom Tatum, who is an author in South Carolina, On Green Diamonds, Pursuing a Dream, which is a great inspirational read, so I hope that you'll enjoy it. And I think that's everything. Do you have anything else you want to share before we head to break?
Well, I do just have to give a few quick thanks. One, to Our Lady of Grace for allowing us to use their facilities, and then second to Julie Gordon at the Indiana Blood Center.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Welcome back to Be the Light. I am your show host, Denise Rezsonya, and now I have with me two young ladies who are going to be talking with us about YAR Grants. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Erin Kiley.
And I'm Abigail Montalvo.
Abigail, okay, so basically, if you haven't heard of a YAR grant, this is just a perfect tie-in for today while we're talking about our Be the Light awards, because YAR Grants, we talked about them a little bit earlier, maybe a couple months ago, you might remember hearing it. It stands for Youth as Resources, and the money comes through grants from the United Way of Central Indiana. And so I'm not going to talk a whole lot, I'll let these girls go, but basically what I want to say is just that this really empowers our young people to go out there and serve in the community, and helps give them funding to do so. So you girls go ahead and take it away.
Go for it. So Youth as Resources, it's through United Way of Central Indiana, and what we do is we want youth throughout Hamilton County specifically, but there are other counties that do this as well. We want the youth to come to us and be like, hey, we have a service project, whether it be helping people medically or helping people who are homeless, really just helping people. If they have an idea but they need the money to do so, our grants are kind of here so that we can give you the money so you can help the community.
And we give up to $1,000 per service project. So this is just a really, really great way to get your ideas out there and have a real impact on the community.
Now, are you girls both on the board then?
Yes, we
Yes.
both serve on the board. So when people come to us with their projects, the youth, when they present it to us, we're on the board, so we go, hey, do they deserve this money? Are they planning it the right way? Because we don't want money. Each dollar counts, and we don't want some money not to go where it needs to go. And so we really decide, hey, should they get all their money? Should it kind of fluctuate a little bit on what they receive? Should they get more than what they're asking for? So we really help to make those decisions.
And so that's a really important point to note. First of all, YAR grants are available to children of any age. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so any age. And I think from what we talked about earlier, you have to have at least 3 people, though, to come in as a group to apply. Is that correct?
Yes. So typically you need at least one person to kind of run the show.
Like a leader.
Just be
Yeah.
the leader of,
And
and
then
like
you-
the face of the project.
And then you typically need 3 people to help you with it. It can't just be a one woman or one man show.
Right, okay. And then also, there does need to be one adult who is,
Supervising.
kind of the accountable person. And you have to have a not-for-profit that backs you up, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So when you receive the grant money, then that non-for-profit will typically hold your money for you. So we're not just giving youth a random check. So through that nonprofit, we know that this money is being spent the way it should be.
And I can say firsthand that that's very easy to get that backing. I mean, my daughter goes to Noblesville West Middle School, and I just simply went to the principal and said, hey, we want to apply for a YAR grant. Would you guys be our backer? And
Yeah.
it was within a split second, I got an answer. Yes, absolutely. And so as far as the process goes to apply and get the YAR grants, at this point, we have had all of the informational meetings, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
we have.
Okay. So if you want information at this point, where would you go to get that?
The easiest way is just to go to the website. It's www.uwci.org/YAR, and you can go on there, and there's all the information's on there, and then also info on how to apply and get everything together. Think of ideas, like it's just lots of information on there. So
Yeah, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, I think, when you first try to get used to it. But there are certainly plenty of people available to help with questions, help kind of get you through the process, because you guys want to be able to give the money out, and you
yeah.
want it to go here in the community.
Definitely.
And most years we actually have money left over, or we give certain projects more money if we think they deserve it. So
Okay. And one thing that's important to note there too is that there are certain categories that the projects need to fall into because it's going through United Way back out into the community. There are certain was it education, health?
education, basic needs,
Health and income.
health and income. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the 4 kind of pillars.
That,
We typically want, we kind of try to stray away from humane society type things. Those are important, but we really want to focus on helping people.
Right, okay, that makes sense. So, anyone wanting to apply, then at this point, they do need to understand that the deadline is coming up. So February 5th of 2016 at 5 p.m. is the deadline to actually get your application in. But between now and then, I mean, there is still ample time to come up with ideas, kind of put a group in place. And so then you would go online, you go ahead and do your application, and then from there, what's the next part of the process?
So once we receive your application, then we will set up a time with you where you will come in. and meet with us, it's typically at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. And we'll meet with you and you'll kind of present your project to us.
So you being the youth.
Youth.
Yeah, so it's not the adult
Well,
presenting.
It's the youth
It's
presenting.
the youth presenting.
Presenting.
We really want the youth to
Yeah.
be there and be the ones leading the project.
Yeah, I love that it's so empowering for young people. Now, also it's to the point that really, when they're in there presenting, they would really prefer to not even have the adult leader in the room necessarily.
Yeah, typically we really kind of stray away from wanting the adult to speak, and sometimes in order to do that, we kind of say, hey, you might not be able to sit in and watch or stand with the youth. You might have to sit outside.
Well, and that makes total sense. I know with my own kids, it's easy for me to just want to jump in and speak for them.
Yeah,
So they need that
definitely.
opportunity to do it for themselves. So, I mean, there's just so many great things about these YAR grants. I mean, it's giving them that public speaking. It's giving them that empowerment. Just learning how to go through a grant process alone is phenomenal experience. And then obviously the end product of going back out to serve in the community.
Yeah.
So now, how did you both get involved? Were you did you get YAR grants, or how did you?
So we were actually involved in the ACTS program through Purdue Extension, which is just a leadership program for sophomores. And after the program, you get placed into different boards. So this was the particular board that we ended up on, and it's been amazing. So
We really learned about leadership and what we wanted to be involved in through that program. And then we actually had Jill, who's kind of like the main leader of Youth as Resources for Hamilton County. She really stepped up and talked to us about what YAR was, and we were both happened to be interested in the same one. So then we did interviews and we made it onto the board, and pretty happy.
Now, how long have you been on the board?
this is our second year.
Okay. And so the board is made up of students and also adults combined. How many board members are there? I know there's quite a few.
20, probably close to 30 maybe.
Yeah.
But now, when a young person comes in to present, they're not presenting to all of the board members.
No. We typically split up into 3 or 4 groups, and each group has a mix of youth and adults. So the youth will, when we ask them questions about their project, they'll get some questions from like youth like us, or they'll get questions from adults who are experienced with this type of thing.
Okay. So one more time, do you want to give them that website for anybody that wants to get more information on this?
Yeah, it's www.uwci.org/YAR, which is YAR.
Okay. And for anybody that has any questions for me, I will remember to actually give you my contact information today. My website is www.denisemrezsonya.com. That's DENISEMREZSONYA.com. And my phone number is 317-200-2511. And I hope that for anybody watching or listening, you will really consider taking a look at this. This is just such a great resource and such a great way to get out there and serve in the community and to make a difference. And I thank you guys so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. And I thank you so much to our show sponsors. I thank Jim Wofford, the Wofford Theater, Hamilton County Television, and Chick-fil-A of Noblesville. Have a great day.